Hey guys, it's Ann, and you probably wonder where on earth I've been. So I just wanted to tell you where I've been. There's just been a lot going on. So first, I want to start with my health. A lot of you know that last year I was diagnosed with a pituitary adenoma. That's basically a cyst or a tumor on your pituitary gland, which is in the middle of your head behind your eyes. And when it rests on your pituitary gland, it can mess with your hormones. Fortunately, the pituitary adenoma I had did not mess with anything in my body. Like, it's almost like it was just there as an incidental finding, but it was not messing with my hormones. There was absolutely nothing that it was doing, but it was growing, and it was growing at an alarmingly quick rate. And the doctor, brain surgeon, felt that he should remove it. So in October, I had brain surgery. I had that removed. He went through my sinuses, extracted it. I needed two doctors for that. I needed the brain surgeon and I needed an ear, nose, and throat specialist surgeon. So he had to cut through my sinuses. The brain surgeon removed the pituitary adenoma, the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat. He then patched it all up, and I went on my merry way. So, but 2 weeks after that surgery, I had a huge gallbladder attack. Turned out then 7 weeks after that, I ended up having my gallbladder removed, and then I had gallstones taken out of my bile duct the day after that. So that was last year. That was a lot of health things. And I spent a good part of, well, basically the whole end of last year having surgeries and recuperating from them. I'm someone who has never had a surgery before in their life. And so that was quite something for me, as it would be for anybody. So anyway, let's go back now to 2021. I've had a lot of makeup appointments. So I've had to have checkups and things that I put off because I was having other health issues, things that I put off because there was a pandemic. And so I've been doing a lot of makeup appointments. In addition, still because of the pandemic, I had to have a few stress tests with an echocardiogram. That was because my sister died a few years ago of sudden cardiac arrest. And so we've been very cognizant to really watch my heart. So it's fine. But in order to have those tests, I also had to have COVID tests. All the tests are like an hour away from my house, so I've been driving. So it's just been super busy with the doctor's appointments. I've had at least 1 or 2 doctor's appointments a week now for the last 2 months. So that's taken a lot of time out of my schedule. In addition, Tom is working, so we're all thankful about that because a lot of you know that Tom was laid off from his position 5 days before my brain surgery. And so last year, it was really a tough time for us because, you know, we were looking at unemployment, we were looking at brain surgery, we were looking at all kinds of health problems, huge medical bills. And, but fortunately, Tom has a new job. So that's wonderful. He is commuting to work though. And his commute is a long commute. So he's driving 2 hours a day. And that's taking a lot of time out of other things. And it's also meant that I needed to buy a car. And it also meant that he's not around for me during lunchtime. And so he can't help me do some things that he normally would help me do. So I've been doing a lot of it myself. We also have a puppy that we're taking care of for 3 weeks while my cousin is having a vacation for her birthday. And the puppy is wonderful, but my older dogs are not, especially one in particular, has not been handling this well at all. So there's been an abundance of barking. I have to keep the dogs separated. Fortunately, we have a big house, but that has been time consuming to say the least. My niece is here visiting, so that's been really wonderful, and she's been helping me with the dog. So I'm very thankful for that. And then my brother is coming in a couple days, and he's going to be here for 10 days. And so we'll be looking at a lot of family parties, a lot of things here at the farm. The great thing about the farm is that we have so much space. And so we do have all the family parties here. So I'm kind of party central. In the meantime, however, I have started decluttering and moving things into the barn. And now that I'm Party Central, I need the barn. There are a lot of things coming up next month that I need that barn for, and it's full of stuff. So I've been trying to list things on Facebook Marketplace. That seems to be taking too long for me. So I think what I'm gonna do is drop a whole bunch of stuff off at thrift stores, which means I have to go out and find some paper boxes, cardboard boxes, and load them and drop them off and lug things. So that is what I've been doing with my time. We have a video of a tour of Mel's house. It's coming up. It's gonna be really great. I really loved her house, but it's in my camera. In addition, there's a tour of our gardens that's in my camera. I don't know if you guys know this, but it usually takes about 8 hours to edit a video, and I work fast. So, you know, it's a good 40 hours a week to do 2 videos a week. That's kind of a lot of time. That's a full-time job. And you can see with all the other things going on, I just haven't had the time to do that. So I'm sorry. I do have some bonus videos on my YouTube membership channel. $4.99 a month. People can support the channel, and as a thank you, get some bonus videos. So if you're interested in doing that, you can hit the join button. And in the meantime, I will continue to film videos, and when I get a chance, I will start to knock them out and get them to you. I'm really hoping to get you at least one this weekend. I am. So we're gonna go for that one. I think we'll get you Mel's video, because that's a really special video. I had such a good time with her, and then we're going to be working on the barn. So as I can, I will show you some of the things that are going on in the barn. We're going to be making a caged bar in the barn so that I have a whole entertainment section in there. I want to insulate and put boards up. Now with Tom working so hard, some of that is kind of slowed down, and some of it I'm going to have to do myself. So that ought to be a real adventure, because he's the construction guy and I'm the visionary. And we want to put a washer and dryer upstairs in our home. I finally figured out how to do that. And I don't know what took me so long to figure this out. I guess it's because we just haven't had the money, but we bought a washer and dryer a while back, and they are stackable, but they're full size. They're actually kind of large, and where I wanted to put them, they didn't fit. And so that meant they went in the basement. I don't really like having my washer and dryer in the basement, because I have the washer under this side of the house and the dryer under the other side of the house. And I don't like carrying the big bundles of stuff down to the basement. Plus the basement is dirty. And you know how you get your clothes out of the wash and you just like drop it on the dirty floor, and then you're like, oh no. So that has been kind of a goal since we moved in here, to get a washer and dryer upstairs. And I finally figured out that what I need is a smaller washer and dryer stackable unit that will slide into the closet, and we'll get a plumber in here and the electrician, and we will be able to set up the washer and dryer, and life is just gonna be so much happier with that washer and dryer. Do you guys have an on your main floor washer and dryer? I have for many years, so to carry it to the basement's been kind of hard. Tom doesn't see the point in that. He thinks that there's no reason you can't have a washer and dryer in the basement, but you know, I see a reason. So anyway, that's another project we're gonna work on. I feel like the house is coming into some kind of shape, and sometimes it just takes a while to get your home into shape, doesn't it? So, you know, when I moved in, I love farmhouse, I love French, I love primitive, I love so many different styles. And when I moved in, I just had this collection of stuff, mostly from my cousin, whose dog I'm sitting for. So I owe her. I have a whole bunch of stuff that she collected and gave it to me, and it filled my home. And it was wonderful because I needed furniture, else there'd be nothing in here. We were living in a very small condo. But as time has gone on and I've been living in the home, I've been deciding what it really wants to look like. And I do think it just really wants to be primitive. It suits the house. It's very much built in the 1780s and looks like a 1780s old farmhouse. And it was interesting the other day because I was at Mel's home, and her home was built in the 70s, 80s also. But it looks so much more farmhouse. And my home looks so much more primitive. And it's because her windows are different. And the style of her home is different. And it just has a whole different feeling than my house. And so this small cape wants to be farmhouse, wants to be primitive, and so I've been doing that, and I've loved it. But now I have a whole bunch of stuff to get rid of, a whole bunch. Like, I bet you I have 6 big, huge bags just of pillows. And you know, you can't store pillows easily. I would need 3 extra closets just to store those pillows. So that's kind of a decorator's dilemma, right? Clutter. And I talk about that on the podcast last week because I've really been thinking about clutter and working on clutter and wondering about clutter and fighting with clutter and moving clutter and clutter. So there's been clutter in my days, clutter in my life, clutter in my decor, and I think it's time to streamline and get rid of all the clutter. So I hope you guys will keep joining me on the journey. I love you. I hope you're doing well. This has been 12 minutes of me just talking to you about what's going on. So if you've stayed to the end, congratulations. That's wonderful. Thank you for all your comments. I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you on them. It's just been, I'm overwhelmed. But I will be back soon, I promise. And I'm gonna really try to get Cousin Mel's tour out really soon because I think you're gonna enjoy it a lot. It was fun to get together with Cousin Mel. We could be in her house without masks. That was so great. And then we went and visited someone who had some pieces that I'm gonna pick up this weekend for my barn. That's gonna help me organize my barn better. And then we went out to dinner and we sat on a patio and we had sangrias and we had yummy food. And it was just such a good time. And then Mel came over and she slept over and she got a little tour of my house and saw the puppy. And we have, it's not all on the video, but that's what we did. It was a lot of fun. So this is just a chit chat video, like you guys are in my house. I also want to get to a live. I would kind of like to get to a live this weekend. I don't know that I'm going to. We do have some sad news. You know, Burnett Antiques, one of our stores that we visit frequently, the co-owner, Rick and Karina. Rick died suddenly this week, age 60. So it's kind of interesting because we were actually going to go in and film that, Mel and I, and then they were closed, and it's because Rick passed. And so we send our condolences to Karina and all of Rick's family. Life is so short, and that was so sudden. I really feel bad for Karina. You know, to lose someone that you love so suddenly, it's a completely life-altering change. And it just reminds me that we have to hang on to the people we love. And sorry guys. You know, it hits close to home. I've lost 2 members of my family suddenly, and you know, one day you're just going along life and then they're gone in a half a second, and your world is spinning and you miss them, and it's just never the same. And so Karina is part of our family here. And so just sending her lots of love. All right, I will see you guys later. Sorry to end on such a sad note, but please send your prayers and love to Karina and the rest of the family during this really difficult time. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.